here. This is Killer Kyle. And welcome to Hey, me and Matt here, and this is Killer Kyle, and welcome to another bonus episode. Although this is going to be on Saturday night, so Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I wish they would have had more matches. They have 4 matches so far. So SmackDown is tonight. I'm not quite sure what the hell's going on, but fuck it.
Yeah. We'll do this, and then if we have to add on matches later.
Yeah, because we did that for Halloween Havoc. Check it out on Tuesday night. But this is going to be an interesting show. At least they have more matches in Hell in a Cell than they have in the past.
Yeah.
Like, I know when it first started 11 years ago, I was like, oh cool, Hell in a Cell, it's going to be a great concept, pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And I only had one fucking match.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually looking forward to this. I mean, I can't wait to see where this goes. I know there's one match that I'm kind of afraid of, and not trying to be sexist, but that's just the way I feel. I'll get to that. There's going to be a match where there could be a possible spoiler, but it might be the same as the last one that I talked about. And then, of course, there's a few others. But it should be an interesting show.
Yeah, for sure. Hell in a Cell pay-per-views are always good. It was interesting how, was it last year or 2 years ago? I think it was last year when they, you could say, debuted the red Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
They painted it red. I don't know if that was so you could see inside the cell better. Like, you know, they have 1 or 2 cameramen inside the cell for like shots inside the cell, but when they show outside the cell, I don't know if that was so you could see what's going on in the ring better, or
yeah, I mean,
make it more ominous looking. I don't know.
I'm all for revamping, and to a certain extent, I enjoyed the fence-like cell.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked more dangerous. It looks like plastic.
Some cameras.
It's black. Well, no, it's red.
Yeah.
But I do seem to recall the blue bars of the 80s steel cage. So, yeah, okay, fine. You know, I don't know. It'll grow on me eventually, I'm sure. So, but it's going to be a good show. And I'm always looking forward to Hell in a Cell. The matches are stellar. I know that, you know, you look at Charlotte and Sasha Banks, or Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. In fact, I'm not a fan of Sasha Banks, and yet I'm putting her over. That's how good she can be.
Yes.
The New Day and the Usos. Holy shit.
You know, they killed it.
But then you look at, you know, Hell in a Cell matches that weren't a part of the pay-per-view in itself, like Undertaker and Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Or, that's all I can really think of.
Randy Orton and John Cena.
Yeah, that too.
Brock Lesnar and Undertaker.
Yeah. Triple H and Mick Foley again.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Mankind for both of those matches.
Yeah.
Or no, Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
For Triple H. So it's awesome to see how this match can elevate a career or end a career.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where this match is like the deal breaker of all feuds. Who can outsmart the other? Who can beat the other to a bloody pulp to end that feud?
Yeah.
So,
Let's get on with it.
let's begin with this match that just got announced last week. You've got Samson, or Elias if you will, versus Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
When the fuck did they have this happen?
Mm.
I mean, yes, back in July, you had the whole thing with Jeff Hardy and the whole car accident thing, and then you have Elias on a stretcher. Of course, Jeff calling his name, you know, like he's concerned and all, but yeah, this whole thing with Elias coming out and attacking Jeff in a return, like, I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, it sucks. I don't, there's no logic there. You know, Elias is just as bad as Paul White. Face, heel, face, heel, face, heel.
Mm.
And then you got Jeff Hardy, who's a veteran in the business. I think that it's going to be awesome to see where he goes in this. I really do. It's kind of like this match should be good. I haven't seen Elias in a steel cage or Hell in a Cell. Jeff probably hasn't been in a Hell in a Cell, I don't think.
No, yeah.
So, yeah, this one will be interesting. I will say before we go any further that the whole thing with the Elias doing the concert on Raw was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, they got a live band, basically, pyro, the whole 9 yards, and then the whole thing with Jeff Hardy, the guitar, and he's got his back turned and playing a riff, and then he takes off his hood and takes off the face covering and reveals that it's himself, and takes a swing at Elias with the guitar, and Elias gets out of the way. Like, okay, that was fairly good. I mean, will it be a good match on Sunday? Yeah, I think it'll be a good match.
yeah.
The rivalry is interesting, although there's not a lot of sense made to it.
Yeah,
But
I almost think it's going to go to Elias. I really do.
yeah,
I mean, there's really no sense in having Jeff go over.
yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm going to go with Elias.
Double Jeff.
I mean, I'm going to be ironic in saying I'm going to walk with Elias.
Yeah, exactly.
So, a while back, Kyle and I were talking about Bailey and Sasha and their feud.
Mm-hmm.
And you brought up something interesting that you saw that I thought was pretty scary, but interesting.
Yeah, I saw a picture. It said Hell in a Cell in like the orangey red colored letters, if you will, and then the Hell in a Cell itself, and then on top of the Hell in a Cell, there's a picture of Bailey holding up the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then kind of on the floor, if you will, there's a picture of Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that would be interesting to see Bailey and Sasha at Hell in a Cell, or maybe inside Hell in a Cell, and lo and behold, some weeks later, here we are. Sasha and Bailey are gonna have a SmackDown Women's Championship match inside Hell in a Cell.
And I've already said how much I think Sasha does very well in these matches.
Mm.
I mean, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, there was probably somebody else. But,
No, just those two.
Oh. Oh, in any case, those were awesome matches.
Mm.
So, I mean, this is cool because, yeah, these two were former best friends. These two definitely have a history together.
Mm.
They had an awesome, epic match at NXT TakeOver, the first one. You know, so it's like, it'll be awesome to see that. I really don't want to see, however, the picture that you saw.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Sasha Banks has been so injured to have her fall off the cell, and I'm pretty sure that cell is going to be fucking almost 30 feet or more.
Mm.
I don't want to see that at all.
Yeah.
At the same time, when is Sasha going to get her due?
Yeah.
Because Bailey has been the champion since the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they would want her to be a champion for a full year. If they do that, when's a good time?
Well, they said on SmackDown last week that Bailey has already been SmackDown Women's Champion for over a year. 368 days, I believe, in fact.
Oh,
So
wow.
she's already been SmackDown Women's Champion for a year plus.
Oh, there you go.
And yeah, I agree. When is Sasha going to get her due? She's been back in WWE since after SummerSlam last year, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Her and Bailey were the women's tag team champions. Yes, you had Sasha as the Raw Women's Champion, but that didn't last very long. So
And it was stupid.
if you're gonna have Sasha be a legit face, let's call it, have her defeat Bailey, silence the critics, if you will, and, you know, give Sasha a legit title run, and maybe prove definitively, once and for all, that Bailey can't do it without Sasha.
I mean, look, Sasha Banks has already proven with the NXT Women's Championship that she can do it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why you can't have her as the SmackDown Women's Champion for a long period of time. I can understand if you want to take Bailey for a few more months and whatever. To me, it would make more fucking sense to have Sasha Banks beat Bailey for the SmackDown Women's title. But, I don't know. I mean, Bailey's a good heel now. I think she's a 5-year-old, but whatever.
Mm.
So, honestly, I'm going to pick Sasha Banks. She's had a hell of a year. And I know that it hasn't been the greatest, but I mean, I want to see her go over at some point. And why not make it Hell in a Cell?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So you pick Bailey then?
No, I'm,
Sasha?
yeah.
Okay.
It's like I said, why not have Sasha have a longer title run, a legitimate title run, and maybe definitively prove once and for all that, hey, maybe Bailey can't do it on her own. If she can, fine, but if you want to prove that Bailey needed Sasha to retain the championship and be champion as long as she's been champion, have Sasha go over on Sunday.
Yeah, you know, I think that's best. Don't call her the legit boss and not have her prove it.
Yeah.
So this match has just been announced on SmackDown last night, and hell yeah, we get to see The Miz versus, oh yeah, Otis Dosovich. And you know, this rivalry has been wacky.
Yes, very.
To say the least. I mean, I have no idea what the Miz has against Otis. I mean, he's the underdog, the blue collar, this whole lawsuit thing, which I am in the midst of watching SmackDown.
Right.
Because for some reason it didn't tape last night. But whatever, this kind of thing is like, alright, so Mandy gets drafted to Raw, and Tucker gets drafted to Raw.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be a match with Otis and The Miz. Honestly, I think that Otis, after everything that The Miz has put him through, needs a win.
Oh, I agree.
You know.
See, here's the thing for me. You got the whole thing with Dolph and Sonya, and Otis and Mandy, and you know, that whole thing, and it ended with the loser leaves WWE match. And then it carries, well, Otis ends up winning the Money in the Bank contract and the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and it's like, okay, Otis isn't ideally the superstar you would think of when you think of world champion or Money in the Bank contract holder. And Otis isn't ideally the guy you would think of when you think Money in the Bank contract holder. And The Miz has, well, at first it was The Miz had a hand in Mandy being drafted, well, moved to Monday Night Raw. And it's like, okay, whatever. Then Tucker ends up drafted to Raw. Again, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. And you have Miz with this vendetta against Otis being Money in the Bank contract holder, which I understand. However, you know, it's like I said, Otis is an ideal superstar you would think of when you think, oh, world champion, Money in the Bank contract holder, whatever. And then it was on SmackDown or Raw? SmackDown, where Miz gives this resounding speech about he's been in WWE for 15 years, and he's, you know, been a world champion, and he knows what it takes to be a champion, and, you know, the company didn't get behind him, and he proved them all wrong, and, you know, he's had this really good career, which he has, and, you know, the people boo him, and they cheer a guy like Otis, and all this other stuff. Well, okay, Miz, if you know what it's like to be world champion, how the fuck come you haven't been world champion in 9, 10 goddamn years? Because you've been so worried about, you know, making the Intercontinental Championship relevant again, and, you know, running around with your wife cosplaying as fucking John Cena and Nikki Bella, and worrying about when your wife's gonna pop out another fucking kid, and being with John Morrison and doing these ridiculously bizarre music videos and quirky, quippy one-liners and shit like that, and being all hunky-dory stuck as a mid-card competitor.
Yeah.
If you were so goddamn hyped on being world champion, then why the fuck haven't you been world champion in like 9, 10 years? Last time he was world champion was when he defended the WWE Championship against John Cena at WrestleMania 27.
That was a shit title belt.
Yeah. So, I mean, Miz could have as much of a gripe against Otis being Money in the Bank contract holder, all he wants. But the fact of the matter is, Otis won the contract. There's, like, the fans absolutely loved Heavy Machinery.
Yeah.
They've got behind Heavy Machinery. They've gotten behind Otis. And I'm sure at some point along the lines, something will happen and Otis probably either won't end up with the contract, it'll go to Miz or something like that. Or when he does cash in, it won't be successful, and whoever's the champion will retain, whether it be friggin' McIntyre or Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And I mean, realistically, Otis against Roman probably wouldn't go very well.
No, I don't think so. And I mean, I understand the underdog story. It's happened before. But with Otis, it's kind of like, why?
A lot of people may critique this, but as far as I'm concerned, Otis is the, what you would call, comedic relief.
Yes.
Yes, he's a good wrestler. Yes, he can get it done in the ring. Yes, Heavy Machinery was a very good tag team. They could get it done in the ring. It's too bad they didn't end up tag team champions. That would have been interesting. But the things that they've had him do, okay, yes, he's love struck with Mandy Rose, and her giving him a ham, and him hugging her when he's all sweaty, and all this other stuff. It was cute, and it was funny, and that's mainly what it was about. Here's this drop-dead gorgeous blonde bombshell that's in great shape, a hell of an athlete, damn good wrestler, and you would expect her to be with a guy like, okay, Dolph Ziggler, or maybe, Robert Roode, or high-class kind of guy, if you will, and she ends up falling in love, basically, with Otis.
Yes.
This stocky, overweight dude. And it's like, okay, opposites attract, and, they're in love, and all this other stuff, which is great. But it's mainly just been comical stuff. Like, talk about how there's nothing really to definitively say, oh, Jey Uso could be the next Universal Champion. There's no quality that stands out and be like, oh, Otis can easily be WWE Champion or Universal Champion. It's not there.
There's a ton of wrestlers that have never held the main title, but they've been mid-card title champions. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Otis is not there yet. Why they pushed him, I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like pushing me. I just got the irony. But the fact of the matter is that the guy should wait for a few more years.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Because what happens is he gets the WWE or Universal title. What happens next? How long of a run is he going to get? I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, in the case of, like, Enzo and Cass, now that team broke up.
Mm-hmm.
And Enzo, obviously, was down to shitter. And so was Cass, but you didn't see Enzo holding the world title anyways.
No. And as far as I'm concerned, Enzo being world champion wouldn't have made sense.
No.
Cass would have been much more viable as the world champion had they handled him in the right way, but they didn't.
Yeah, true.
Like, they had Enzo and Cass in this rivalry after Cass was the one that, was beating up Enzo and take him out in the locker room or whatever. But then after that, it went nowhere. Now, of course, Kaz did take some time away from the business for quite a few years, dealing with mental health issues, and so hopefully he's doing alright. But yeah, there is so much potential with Big Kaz that just wasn't capitalized on.
No, unfortunately. And, good luck to him wherever he is.
Yeah.
But in this case, yeah, I think Otis definitely needs to win on Miz for, just being shit on.
I'm gonna take Otis as well. Like, have Otis get the win over the Miz, and then wherever they go with this whole lawsuit thing, put that to bed and move on to something else.
Yeah. Now let's go on to the Universal Championship match. I know you're looking forward to it. You've got Roman Reigns, the High Chief, versus his cousin Jey Uso, again, inside Hell in a Cell.
Oh, but this isn't going to be just a regular Hell in a Cell match. Oh no, my friend, because this is going to be
yes,
a I Quit match inside Hell in a Cell. Now, you saw our Facebook chat, or you're going to watch it. I had made mention of Full Gear. They're going to have a I Quit match with Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title. And so WWE has taken that concept and one-upped it, if you will, by having a Hell in a Cell I Quit match. And this is another one of those things where WWE is thinking outside the box and going, okay, what can we do that we haven't done before, that hasn't been seen before, that people might be interested in seeing and want to see, and draw them to a specific match and give people something to look forward to at a pay-per-view. This is it.
exactly.
Now, hopefully, this match won't be as god-awful as the match they had at Clash of Champions. I'm hoping it'll be better with the I Quit stipulation and it being inside Hell in a Cell. So, yeah. Now, Roman has been like, I love you, I'm doing this to help you, I'm trying to put food on your family's table, but in order for things to be right in the world and, make our family proud, I need to remain champion and be the head of the tribe, if you will, the head of the family, or one of the heads of the family, or whatever. And having that face-to-face with Roman and Jey on SmackDown last week, after basically they made Braun Strowman look like Roman Reigns. Bitch! Roman is like, I tried to help you, I tried to, put food on your family's table, I love you, I'm doing this to help you, so on and so forth, and he's beating the crap out of Strowman with the chair, and, Jey gets in the ring, and Roman's telling him, you want to make it up to me and prove that you love me or whatever, take the chair to him and hit Strowman and whatever. And then Roman's like, alright, hit me then. And he turns his back. And, Jay's got the chair and he's indecisive about what he wants to do. And he throws the chair down and Roman's like, I knew it. You're weak. You're mindless. You don't have it in you. You don't have that killer instinct. And then Jay throws a punch at Roman. Roman goes down, and he picks up the chair, and he's like, you love me, I love you too, and he's whacking Roman with the chair, and it's like, okay.
There you go.
And that's good, you know.
Yeah.
Give Jey Uso that aggressive side and make him a badass, if you will. And, you know, hopefully that will carry over into Sunday and the match will be a good match. Question is, will that be enough to give Jay the title? I don't know. I mean, Roman's been a fairly good champion. It's almost as if he's like, oh, I'll defend the title on my time, on my terms, when I feel like it, when I want to, when it makes sense, when, you know, it's in my favor and whatever. Which is a good heel tactic as far as I'm concerned. But again, like, go back to our Clash of Champions predictions. Like, with him just coming back and being thrown in the Universal title picture, it's like, okay, what is there exactly that has shown that Jay deserves to be Universal Champion? Really nothing.
Yeah.
And this carrying on, okay, you're carrying on the rivalry, which is fine, and, you know, it's a good story, but, like, I'm sure Jey Uso could potentially be a Universal Champion at some point, maybe, but, like, give him more time. Have him be a singles competitor for a little while longer, and then maybe at some point down the line have him be Universal Champion again. Now, when his brother is healed up and ready to compete again, maybe it'll just be Jimmy and Jay tear it up in tag team division and, you know, maybe at some point be tag team champions again. Who knows? But for right now, it's like, okay, you're giving Jay this opportunity at the championship, but, like, go somewhere with it. Do something with it. Show us that Jay can be a viable contender for the Universal Championship before you give him the Universal title.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think that this match, I think Jay can prove himself a little more, but yeah, I don't think him winning the Universal title anytime soon is possible.
Right.
When I first heard that this was an I Quit match, and it takes place in the cell, and it was reminding me of, and I know this wasn't a cell, match against Talia Blanchard and Magnum TA. That match was so fucking brutal. If they can do that on Sunday, we'll see how that goes. I mean, look, Jimmy is in the picture right now. So I want to see Roman Reigns have the title a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Who knows where it can go, honestly. I don't know. And I definitely don't want to see Brock Lesnar back.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are saying that it's going to be Roman and Lesnar again, and fuck that bullshit. So, I don't know who can take the title off of Roman. However, yeah, I am going to say Roman's going to win on Sunday.
Yeah.
There's no way that Jay can win.
Yeah. I mean, would it be interesting to see Jay as Universal Champion? Sure. But I don't see it right now. I'm taking Roman.
Yeah. So now we have this match for the WWE title. You've got another rematch Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre.
This rivalry has been something else, I tell you.
Well, I mean, an ambulance match, that at least has something.
Yeah.
You know, how many stipulations can those two go through?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think this is going to be a good match as well. I think these guys can take each other to the limit in the Hell in a Cell match. I think that this match can definitely be in Randy's favor. To be honest with you, Randy's been in a hell of a lot more Hell in a Cell matches than Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like Randy Orton, I can see that he's a lot better when he's in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And I will give him credit. This year, it just seems like he has more personality than he has in the past.
Yeah.
I think the older people get, the more they get their head out of their ass. But I still think that after this match, or hell, maybe even during this match, you get a return of the Rated R Superstar. And that leads into whatever the next pay-per-view is, Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Randy Orton versus Edge for the WWE title.
Hmm? Yeah. Thing is, we would have to have Randy beat Drew for the title. And the way things are going right now, things strongly have been in the favor of McIntyre.
No, that is true as well.
Now, with Randy having more experience inside Hell in a Cell than Drew, that could give him the upper hand, or actually does give him the upper hand as far as this match is concerned. It'll be really interesting to see what happens, though, for sure.
Yeah. And there was a spoiler I saw on YouTube, but I can't remember who interfered in the match, or who came in after the match. I like to think it's Samoa Joe. Now that would be an interesting one, if that ever does happen. But for my money right now, I'm going to say Randy Orton.
Yeah. Hell, I'll take Randy, too. With the previous two matches going McIntyre's way, and yes, I know that Drew is not very experienced inside Hell in a Cell. Yes, he does have that evil, dark, vicious side, much like Randy does. And, you know, with Randy having that higher caliber match experience inside Hell in a Cell, like I said, that does give him advantage as far as this match is concerned.
Yeah.
And maybe Randy can somehow solve the riddle that is McIntyre and beat him. Now, another thing is, too, with Randy just having pinned Drew in the tag team match, and, you know, it's for McIntyre's first loss in almost a year, that could sway people's thinking into, oh, well, McIntyre's going to get one back at Hell in a Cell and retain the title, which is very well also possible. But, like, it really is an either way kind of thing. And, you know, if McIntyre retains the championship on Sunday, cool, nothing wrong with that. Where do you go next with it? Who knows? You know, Randy wins. You know, 14-time world champion, which is great. And maybe at some point down the line, match open, Edge and Randy for the WWE title at some point. Or Randy against anybody for the championship. It's... either way can work. Makes sense.
Another possibility. I know that Monday Keith Lee put on his amazing aggressive streak from Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
What's not to say he interferes in this match?
Yeah.
Because I do know that he has a receipt for Randy Orton coming. I do know that he's Drew McIntyre's best friend or friend. They've had a friendly rivalry, if you will. I think he will interfere at some point. Or he could interfere at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
So there's that to think about.
There's so many different variables about this match.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Only time will tell.
oh, exactly.
So, like I said in the beginning of the first video that you'll watch before this, we just did a Halloween Havoc NXT video that'll be posted on Wednesday night, so check that out. Or Tuesday night, I should say. Check it out. And then, of course, our Bound for Glory pay-per-view predictions that we just did. So, yeah, another interesting week of wrestling. So,
Yeah.
next week, we're going to do another look back at, but we're going to do something that Wheels of Fury hasn't done. And for the first time ever, we will be doing a look back at a movie. South Park. Should have said that with me. But anyway.
Bigger, badder, better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be cool. I saw it once, and I really enjoyed it, so... And I'm not even a fan, to be honest with you. I should be, but I'm not.
Yeah, really.
I've seen a few episodes.
Yeah. The stuff that they do on that show, I think it'd be right up your alley, but... Apparently
no,
not.
you're right. You're definitely right about that. But we'll get to that in the future, next week. So, for me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle, and we will talk to you next week. Oh, fuck me in the ass. Deuces.
No, I'm not doing that.